What's up, guys? It's your girl Rivah, and I am back again with another video. If you're new here, my name is Rivah, and I am here to give you guys my full thoughts, my feelings, my opinions, and of course, my reaction to this video. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. And of course, this video resurfaced in my feed on YouTube, actually, because of the observance of Father's Day. So I saw this video, and interestingly enough, the person who is speaking is a Jamaican blogger, almost kind of like similar to some of the bloggers that we have like in the American space, that they kind of cover just various topics. So in this video in particular, he is going to be speaking, Patois, Jamaican dialect. So if there's any part that I feel like needs to be reiterated, I am going to reiterate it so that you guys can fully comprehend and understand what this man is saying. I did not watch this entire video. I literally watched a small clip, but I thought it would be absolutely interesting for us to talk about over here. So I'm going to press play. And again, if there's anything that I feel like you might need kind of like a translation of, I'm going to create that translation for you guys. And for those of you who already understand it, just bear with me, because I feel strongly that this is an important message for every audience, right? So I'm just going to go ahead and press play. We're going to jump in. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. But let's go ahead and just jump right into the video.
The other cultures, what I realize is that any society where fathers don't play an important role in the home, any society that has too many single mothers, is normally full of death, destruction, and chaos. I know that's not what you see on your TV. I know the media, right? I've been telling you for years that women can do it all by themselves and they don't need any men around. And, women are strong and they can raise all these amazing children by themselves. Guess what? We don't believe you. You need more people. This is not just my opinion. The evidence suggests otherwise. Now, in this video, I'm going to give you 10 questions you should ask your mother. Yeah, anybody who is a fatherless, if you're fatherless, right, not a father in your life, anyone comes to your father, a lot of you are very resentful of your father. Now, some of it is due, some of it is fear. Let's be honest. Enough man are waste man, we know that, right? We're not here to defend. We're not defend no crook. We're not defend no man who don't want to stand up to them responsibilities for whatever reason, right? You don't have to convince me. Say we have a real issue when it comes on to men being leaders and all these things. You don't have to convince me that. However, you have to realize that people that treat women like say them infallible. Well, guess what? Women are the gatekeepers to reproduction.
Okay, let me just stop right here. Okay, so he's saying right off the bat, 10 questions to ask your mother, right? And then he's saying that he noticed that a lot of children grow up with resentment towards their fathers. And he's saying, it's not that it's not warranted sometimes. It's not that there's sometimes that there's people who just genuinely just don't step up to the plate, right? Like just genuinely don't take care of their responsibilities, don't care, don't bat an eye. It doesn't matter what this child needs, requires. When this child comes into the world, they want nothing to do with it. So he's saying that he's not going to act like that doesn't exist. However, what he sees is that if the dad is great, bare minimum, what mid, and the mother is the same thing, he finds that for some reason mothers can do no wrong in their children's eyes. Let's continue.
Therefore, they cannot be immune to criticism. The same way we can say, the man they are rough, women can be called out too. So a lot of you people who are bitter and resentful towards your father, right? I'm sorry to break this to you, but a lot of it is unfair. A lot of it you should actually be looking at your mother. And I'm going to give you 10 questions you should ask your mother. But before I go into that, let me just read out some statistics as to just how important the whole father thing is. Can you hear Sir Peter about father every day? And I think to myself, what have they made the matter about this father business? I don't think people realize just how serious it is when a youth grow up without a father. Let me read out these shocking statistics for you. Now, even though the majority of my audience would be Jamaicans, unfortunately, we don't really see a lot of studies like this done in Jamaica. To be honest, I'm convinced that the powers that be simply don't care. They're going to say, oh, well, we don't have the resources, but I think it's more the fact that they don't care, or they don't even want people to know, because if people know, then maybe they make a change. And society, the various powers that be, a lot of people benefit from the destruction and the chaos that come from these Jamaican homes. So these statistics I'm going to show you, this is coming from out of Uncle Sam. This is coming from over America. Because
okay, so he is speaking on behalf of like Jamaicans, and he's coming from a Jamaican standpoint, but these statistics that he's using are actually American statistics that he's using. So basically what happens when the father is out of the home? How does it affect the child when the father is no longer in that child's life or living in the same home with that child? So we're going to listen to these statistics because, like I said, interestingly enough, he's from Jamaica. He's talking from a Jamaican standpoint with American statistics.
Also has a single mother problem, especially in the black community. Listen to these statistics, right? Forget about my opinion now. This is what the experts say. You ready for this? People, let's start with number one. Children's diminished self-concept. These are the results of father absence on children, right? They're saying the results of father's absence on children are nothing short of disastrous. Listen to what them say. Number one, children's diminished self-concept and compromised physical and emotional security. Right? So children consistently report feeling abandoned when their fathers are not involved in their lives, struggling with their emotions and episodic bouts of self-loathing. Enough people listening to this can relate right now. Yes, you can. Matter of fact, the majority of Jamaicans can relate to this video.
So the first thing, bottom line, again, for those of you who understand, I wish, I could have done this in a different way so I would know who does understand from who doesn't. Anyway, number one on the list is that the children who grew up without their fathers have a compromised physical and emotional security. So they just don't feel safe. For no actual reason, for no great reason, for no, not because somebody done broke in and then now they're living with this kind of fear. No, they just don't feel protected. They don't feel safe. They don't feel grounded.
I'm not asking you, I'm telling you. Number two, behavioral problems. Fatherless children have more difficulties with social adjustment and are more likely to report problems with friendships and manifest behavioral problems. Many develop a swaggering, intimidating persona in an attempt to disguise their underlying fears, resentments, anxiety, and unhappiness. Sound familiar? Jamaica is the land of the fake tough guy.
So, behavioral problems, right? So, he's talking from a Jamaican standpoint, but we can even say here in the U.S., it's always like those kids, right? Like those kids who are always picking on somebody else. Those kids who are always getting, detention, in-school suspension. What is it? Where they get like not suspended from school. It's always those kids that you have to kind of look at twice. Like why are you so eager to deflect anybody picking on you? And you're picking on other people. And more times than not, it's because of the imbalance that they're witnessing at home. As this study is saying, a lot of them are fatherless children. So they want to act tough. They want to act like this because if anybody peeled back those layers and really knew how they truly feel, they would be way too vulnerable, way too emotional. And instead they have a mindset that, no, I have to be tough. Because number one states they don't feel safe. So I have to be tough because who's here to protect me even when I'm in that vulnerable state? So let me just go ahead and be bad so that nobody will look too deep into me.
Jamaica is the land of the fake. Yo, me a real man. The man can't tell me nothing. Me a real man. Me a tough man. Me a bad man who suck your mother. Fake badness. Fake macho man. They're all over Jamaica. These are fatherless youths. They act tough, they walk tough, they talk tough, but really they are as feminine as a tampon.
But I have to say too, he's saying Jamaica in particular, but this is everywhere. We can say this in America too. We see it over and over again, especially when it comes to the music. Everybody was living a trapping lifestyle? I don't think so. Everybody, just say mama was getting it? I don't think so. Everybody was like, from the age of 10, doing this and all this kind of stuff. No. That's not reality. That's not reality. Whether you're here, whether you're overseas, it doesn't matter where you are. All of these children are growing up the same way. It's not like before the internet days, right? Like all children across the globe, America, UK, Jamaica, Australia, literally everywhere across the globe, because of the internet, they are all sharing the same exact experiences. So it's all one and the same. All one and the same.
These youths know they are missing something. They know them grew up with just them precious mommy. Them know they should have had a male influence in their life. And to overcompensate and to make up for it, they overcompensate by being upset and angry for no reason whatsoever.
Yeah.
Going at any community, and the more single mothers they find in that community, is the more the youth them just tough with them face, them just vex. Right through the day, 24 hours a day, them just vex and angry for no reason whatsoever. They're overcompensating. They know they lack something. Number 3, truancy and poor academic performance. 71% of high school dropouts are fatherless. Let me say that again. I'm gonna try to use Uncle Sam.
Let me say something now. And I'm not gonna keep pausing it too much, but fathers don't get enough credit. So I'm gonna take as much time with this video and express my feelings and elaborate, because I want everybody to get this message and to understand that fathers, you are so necessary. You are so needed. This one, I have to just full stop it right here. 71% of high school dropouts are fatherless, because fathers, you provide so much structure in the lives of your children, direction. You set the tone. You set the foundation. You're the one who makes sure that they make it to be the person they're supposed to be. You are. Whether you're not around or whether you're around, you make the biggest difference in your child's lives. That's why this man just said, when you go to neighborhoods that are filled with only single mothers, it shows based off of the behavior patterns of the children. So even if mommy is there or not, that doesn't make the difference. What makes a difference? The father. But people don't want to give y'all credit or y'all glory. People don't want to sit down and applaud you. You go into the grocery stores on Mother's Day, you have to fight. Okay? Because there's no parking. Lines are long. But at the end of the day, you still have a lot of gifts, flowers, cards, balloons to choose from. When you go to the store on Father's Day, you better get there early enough. Because they got about 10 balloons to choose from. And if you're not there when they sold out, that's it. That's it. And this Father's Day fell on Juneteenth. They had more Juneteenth stuff in the store than Father's Day stuff.
Was for me to say, these are things that the rest of the world actually cares about and study. 71%, right? That is not a small number. 71% of high school dropouts are fatherless. Fatherless children have more trouble academically, scoring poorly on tests of reading, mathematics, and thinking skills. Children from father-absent homes are more likely to play truant from school, more likely to be excluded from school, more likely to leave school at age 16, and less likely to attain academic and professional qualifications in adulthood. People who come from fatherless homes simply have a much harder time in school, right? You think a child won't realize their father isn't there? You think a pitney, no matter how much he loves this precious mommy, him realize that his daddy is not there. And these children, a lot of them, they will do anything to get a daddy, right? They want to come home and say, Daddy, look on this. They don't have one. But again, as a Jamaican society, father is optional. Here's the real big one, and the very relevant one for Jamaica. Because, check this out. Number 4, delinquency and youth crime. Including violent crime, 85% of youth in prison have an absent father. Let me say that again. 85% of youth in prison have an absent father. Fatherless children are more likely to offend and go to jail as adults. Yet
85% of youth in prison have absent fathers. Fatherless children are more likely to offend and go to jail as adults. Why is that? Because the person who's supposed to teach them how to be a man, either their mother has already filled their head up so much with resentment towards that man that they are resisting that very intricate part of themselves that teaches them how to be a man. And now they have to go out into society and go figure out what that means. He just said something key. He said that they wish they would do anything when they're in school to have a daddy. And then we wonder how they get mixed up in the wrong crowd. Because like number 1 said, that protection, that feeling of they don't feel safe, they go find it in the street. Those behavioral problems is rectified in the street. They're dropping out of school, so now what are they going to do for work? They're going to go find it in the street. They're going to go find it. They're going to go find it.
what? I have something to tell all you women out there who think that you can do it all alone. If your youth, if your precious little Jimmy decides that he want to be 87, he might go turn 87, you can't stop him. You can beat him with everything in the house. You can go for any wire, any 2 before, anything you want to beat him. You can't stop him. Only his father can stop him. If a woman raises a youth that turns out to be well disciplined and all these things, guess what? That youth is just inherently that way. I just saw him stay. If him start straight, you can't bring him back. Listen, people want to vex, I just saw it go.
He said a very key thing here. You know, if a kid is raised by a single mother and he's just, great, he's excelling, it's because he's just inherently good. That's just how he is. That's just his personality. But he's saying, if you see a kid that is good and then strays, there's no way that woman can tame him and bring him back. And this goes to a whole bigger conversation. Women can't be men. You can't be a man. You can't beat a man either. You're different. What men provide, as a woman, you cannot provide it. You can come on every platform. You can gather as many women as you want to agree with you. It's not going to happen. You cannot replace the other side of themselves being their father, mother and father. Just like on Father's Day, women, oh yeah, shout out to the mothers that play both roles. Go sit down somewhere. Go sit down somewhere. You can't play both roles. You can only play one role. You cannot, as a woman, teach a man how to be a man. You cannot do that. It's not possible. Not possible. And I'm so passionate about it because there's so many women over and over again coming up with just having these kids by themselves. A lot of these women are just opting to be a single mom on purpose, just going to a bank because they want a child, or just sleeping with a guy that they know they don't want to be with, just because, they're about to be 30 or whatever and they want to have a child. Oh, I could do it all by myself. And don't think about these repercussions for the child. Only thinking about themselves. That's selfishness.
A mother has to tell, especially boy pitney, a mother has to tell her boy pitney for the one thing 100 times. When his father can get the same thing done with just a clear throat. Just a that's enough. That's all a father has to do. A mother has to repeat herself all day. Listen, I'm not here to make friends. Hit that dislike button. Hit that dislike button. Number 5. Promiscuity and teen pregnancy. Fatherless children are more likely to experience problems with sexual health, including a greater likelihood of having intercourse before the age of 16. Right? More likely to become teenage pregnancy, becoming teenage parents, contracting some kind of disease. Right? Girls manifest on hunger for males. You hear that? Girls manifest on hunger for males. In other words, them want man validation. Women without fathers, from them little bit, they start to seek male validation from a very early age, and that is how enough of them end up being mothers. Because a man realizes, oh, she'll look for something. Oh, she'll look for a man in her life. She want leadership, she want structure. Alright, see her. Take advantage, next thing you know, she pregnant. And everybody go on like say them don't know. Oh, but me can't believe it happened to Miss Mavis daughter. What do you mean? What do you mean that little girl wants a man in her life? And that man should have been her father. And it turned out that man ended up being the eyeglass down the road. And what do you know? Here comes teen pregnancy.
Whatever. And guys, listen, this is just 100%. Like me just being really authentic with you guys. When a young girl is growing up, the first man to show her what love is, and the first man to show her how she should be loved, is from her father. As a young man, when he's growing up, the first person to show him what it is to be a man is from his father. So when these women get in the mix and be trying to mess up these relationships, they're sabotaging the adults that their children will become.
I don't want to talk about this. People don't want to talk about the fact that enough of these young girls, the reason why enough of them end up with so much with belly from them young. People talk about that too she bad. She was looking for a male presence. She was looking for a father figure. Right? Girls who have their fathers in their life simply do not need to lust and chase after male attention because they've been hearing and seeing daddy voice from them born. And daddy been telling them that they're beautiful and he loves them and they didn't born. Then they need to seek as much validation. Fatherless girls on the other hand, oh boy, trust me, I can tell you about them. And even when I'm a big woman, they never fully get over the fact that they never had a father. Drugs and alcohol abuse, fatherless children, more likely to engage in that. Right? I'll quickly run through the rest of them and come on and get to the 10 question them. Right? Number 8, exploitation and abuse. Fatherless children are at a greater risk of suffering physical, emotional, and sexual abuse, being 5 times more likely to have experienced physical abuse and maltreatment. Listen, this is common sense. When a father is not in the house, children, especially the girls, are clearly more vulnerable to being somebody come feel them up. Whether it's a stepfather, uncle, somebody, the neighbor. Men, when a predator is looking for a victim, one of the first things they look for is if a man is in the house. You know that?
Let's be real. It's so easy. Because that man, again, he represents so much structure, protection. So it's easier access to children who are being raised with just this vulnerable mother who's maybe not paying attention. Maybe she's blind. Maybe she's busy with other things. So you leave your kids in vulnerable spaces. And you talking about you have a new boyfriend and, oh, he's such a good, helper, and he's such a good, like, stepdad or whatever. And the only thing that he's doing is you know, changing diapers and bathing your kids. What's wrong with you? You be cutting off the relationship with a real daddy because of how you feel, because you're mad he doesn't want to be with you. And then you let these people into your lives and just expose your children to whatever for your own gain. Rivah love the kids. Rivah love the kids. I'm passionate about this. I'm passionate about breaking cycles. I'm passionate about seeing changed lives. I'm passionate about our entire culture changing. Positively, I'm passionate about it. Because right now, the adults are not thinking about the future for the children. They're only thinking about how they feel right now.
See, the thing is, enough Jamaican people know what me I start true, you know. Right? People know, enough people know wrong from right. Them know say, listen, when they know say, when the man them I go around and I look, who them have a run certain joke with, who them have a take certain chance with, them a look for a fatherless home. Because no man no really want to take a chance with certain man because they know say men don't play certain jokes when it comes on to them pitney. Things that woman find funny, a man no skin, no teeth. Right? A man will go for cutlass very fast. Right? So that is no surprise to anybody. As you can see on your screen, your physical health, mental health disorders, life chances, future relationships, mortality, every single thing where you can measure. Children without a father perform much worse than those who actually have a father. And a positive father that. Because we don't want to say father. We're talking about a positive father, a positive male role model. Right? Now, people, let me just finish up this last part before going to the 10 questions. Children without fathers, right, are more likely to deal with or suffer from childhood obesity. See, as you can see on your screen, children with higher body mass indices, right, BMI, are more likely to come from father-absent homes. Right. Another study found that a father's parenting style was a better predictor of whether a child will become obese. Let me tell you something. Your mother finds it harder to tell you no than your father. You know that? Your mother will tell you say no, and then you come back to her, Mommy, me can't get this, and she change her mind. However, your father would be like, listen, you not get no cake, one in your bed. And that's it.
You're
your
right.
mother, she might say no the first time, but the second or third time she change her mind. Mothers are simply softer on their children. So they're more likely to give them this, give them that. Next thing you know, the pitney, a 14-year-old and weigh 300 pounds. Right? Criminal justice involvement. Again, crime. I'm not sure the one more focused on Jamaica. Listen to this right now. Family structure and the lack of paternal involvement are predictive of juvenile delinquency. The more opportunities a child has to interact with his or her biological father, the less likely he or she is to commit a crime or have contact with the juvenile justice system.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something, fathers out there. Let me tell you something, daddies. Let me tell you something. You're crucial. You're so crucial. If you never hear that, if your kids don't tell you that, if your kids don't tell you how much they appreciate you and they adore you, if your baby moms, your wife, whoever does not tell you how valid and how necessary you are, I'm telling you right now, you're so necessary and crucial for what these children will become. You are. You're irreplaceable. You're irreplaceable. And it doesn't matter how hard things get. I'm not telling you to lose your mind over your kids. That's not what I'm going to tell you. Okay? I'm not telling you to, go to war with their mom and create this. I'm not telling you that either. But whatever you are doing, whatever you can do, whatever you're willing to do that thing. Because you're the reason why they're going to be great. You are.
It's not my opinion. This is not my feelings. The world studied this thing. People all over the world study this. Just like in Jamaica, right? As me say, them are going to tell us how to the non-resources. But it's because them simply for them, hey, it no matter because I just more youths on the conveyor belt of death in the business. Them not actually try to stop them, right? But me have to show them what the reality is, right? In a study of female inmates, more than half came from a father absent home. Youths who never had a father living with them have the highest incarceration rates. Let me say that again. Youths who never had a father living with them have the highest incarceration rates. Listen to this now. And this are gonna make people get people will get mad. Come on, hit the dislike button from now. Especially females, hit the dislike button from now, cause that party are gonna get people mad. Ready? While youths in father-only households display no difference in the rate of incarceration from that of children coming from two-parent households.
Did you guys hear what this man just said? Did you hear what he just said? Children who are in father-only households display no difference in the rate of incarceration from that of children growing up in two-parent households. So what does that mean to say? That means that fathers, good fathers, are able to play the role of father and mother. But mothers cannot play the role of mothers and fathers.
Let me say that again.
Don't be mad at me, be mad at the statistics.
Say it even slower. Youths in father-only households, in other words, it's a single parent household but at the father alone, not a single mother household but a single father household, display no difference in the rate of incarceration. Means that there is no difference in the amount of youths that go to jail. So a man raising a child by himself can deliver the same amount, deliver the same rate of incarceration as a two-parent home. That shows you that a father can stop a child going into crime more than a mother. Because a mother, when it's the mother alone, the youth them gone in crime, right, they're more likely to dead, go jail, everything. But when it's the father alone, the father by himself can deliver the same results as the mother and the father. That shows you that it is the father that is stopping the youth from going to crime. Come on, hit that dislike button. Hit that dislike button and unsubscribe. Tell me about mother. Come on, let's go. I'm working here, people. I'm not here to make friends.
He's ready for the backlash. He's telling people unsubscribe from him, dislike the buttons from him, because he already knows. He already knew the backlash he was going to get from this.
Right. In addition, children who come from father-absent homes are at a greater risk for using illicit substances at a younger age. The absence of a father in a child's life may also increase the odds of his or her associating with delinquent peers. In other words, when they fall in, they're more likely to link up with other idlers, more likely to link up with other 87s, more likely to get involved in a foolishness. Gang involvement. After this, we are moving on to the 10 questions. A high percentage of gang members come from father-absent homes, possibly resulting from a need for a sense of belonging. Come on, I told you this even before I say all them study. I'm telling you them thing a long time ago. Gaining that sense of belonging is an important element for all individuals. It is simply natural human behavior. You want to feel like you're a part of something, right? People naturally want structure. No matter what them tell you, children actually want and need structure. They need discipline. They need somebody if you tell them, say, oh, listen, you're a part of this clan, you're a part of this group, I'm the leader, and you do this. That's human nature. We're social beings. Through gangs, youth find a sense of community and acceptance. In addition, the gang leader may fill the role of a... Listen, I've said this before, even that should say... Let me just carry on, because I want to get to the 10 questions. Often leading members to model their behaviors after that individual. What did I say? Jamaica is full of youths. When you go across, I've never been in any other country and see youths call other man father and daddy like in Jamaica. That's because the youths them don't have none. The youths them are constantly looking for a male role model to lead them and show them something.
And we know this. We know this. You know, there's movies that display this behavior. There's TV shows. Like, it literally shows, like, when there's no father in the home, then the guy goes out, and then, you know, either the big brother or somebody got to be like, you know, what are you doing? Let me speak some sense into you. Like, we already know these things. And the first, I want to run through this quickly, because after he does this, he's going to ask the 10 questions that this person needs to ask their mom. And listen, like I said, for all the fathers who feel like they don't get enough credit or they don't get enough this is the video for you. Take the time for yourself and watch it. Watch this video full out. You know, don't don't look for the ebbs and flows. We just gonna watch this together, okay? But number one, it says higher body mass because a lot of these children are eating their feelings. They're not hungry. They're not hungry. Sometimes kids, they be in the house, they get bored, they start eating. Yes. But a lot of it is eating their feelings. A lot of them go into juvenile, delinquency because they just go outside, nobody's paying attention to them. The mom all up in other people's business, talking other people's business, don't know where her kids are. And her kids out there running, roaming the street. And when you leave kids to tell other kids what's right from wrong, they're all going to do the wrong thing. Which is connected to the involvement. Meeting up with somebody. Ooh, where'd you get those shoes from? Oh, yeah, I work with old boy around the corner. And, he always does this stuff for me. And he helps me. And then now you have a product of the same environment circling and circling and circling. The saga just continues to continue.
They love youths this is natural behavior. Young boys want an older male who they can look up to and say, listen, I want to be like the brother, yeah. That's why you hear people call like, my father Zeke's, father we Paul. Once you're a big man on the block, no matter what you do, you could be legit or you could be a criminal. They used to never call your father because them not have none. Come on, hit that dislike button. I'm working here. Having a father in the child's life greatly reduces the likelihood of a child joining a gang. Now, Simple Simon, before I go any further, let me just say, obviously, we know there are exceptions to everything. Yes, some youth come from perfect two-parent homes and grow up for a giant clansman. Yes, we know that. Simple Simon. We know there are exceptions and anomalies to everything. Okay, let's put that out there because I know the type of people I deal with. Let's move into the 10th question.
Yeah, 100%. Like, we know there's anomalies, but this study is about overall. This isn't about the anomalies. Well, I don't know why you're saying that because, this kid grew up with both parents. And because some kids are just curious. Some kids just want to be down. Some kids just want to be cool. And they want to act like they're living a lifestyle that other cool kids around them or kids that they feel are cool are living. And they are coming from, great households, don't have to do anything that they're doing. But they're doing it to be affiliated with people still trying to be accepted by their crew. Their parents didn't raise them like that. They have good mom, good dad. Yes, we know that. But this is an overall study. So overall, not the anomalies, not the one-offs. We're not talking about that.
Because you know what I realize? In Jamaican society, all you hear every day is mama this, mama that. In the music, mama.
I want to correct one thing. So he's saying in Jamaican society, but I want to say I want you guys in your mind to replace Jamaican society to black culture. Because we all black people. I know that there's all this thing, FBA and, this and Jamaican, but the Haitians, we all black people. Whether you're from America, whether you're from UK, we black people. We share the same struggles. Doesn't matter the different levels, we share the same struggles. We do. We're one. Whether you want to believe that or not, whether you agree or not, we're one. We are one.
Right, a matter of fact, big up the artist Jamil, right? He had that song for his father, and listen, enough artists who actually have father, even though them know say them father play a major role in them life, because them know say the mama song is an easy forward. That's all them do. Mama. And I'm not saying people, listen, Simple Simon, I'm not trying to take anything away from mothers here. I'm just trying to say, put fathers on the same footing. Now, as a man, I can tell you this right now. The world has no problem being honest with men. The world will tell you if you're a man and you are broke, the world will tell you you are broke. If you're a man and you're too short, they will tell you say you're short. Let me tell you say you're too tall. Let me tell you say your head too big. Let me tell you say your foot stink. Let me tell you say your teeth ugly. The world is very honest with men.
Yep.
Women, on the other hand, For some reason, people act like women are infallible, and especially when it comes on to reproduction. Well, guess what? Women are the gatekeepers of reproduction. And you can talk about men being rough and deadbeat and all these things, but as I said at the start of the video, a lot of you have resentment for your father that is undeserved. Some of you need to look closer to home before you get upset with Sir P, before you get upset with quote unquote the system and get upset with your school and get upset with everybody. You need to ask your mother a couple questions. Now, depending on your situation, everything is different. You might need to ask her just 3 out of these 10, 5 out of these 10. Some of you, life is so messed up, you need to ask your mother all 10. It's up to you. Use your own discernment. Let me start it off with no.
So this is simple. He's saying a lot of you guys walk around with this problem again. So your fathers have misplaced anger. You should be looking at your mother. And he's saying, so before you move forward with all this resentment towards your dad, treating your dad wrong, all this kind of stuff, you need to list this out and ask him these questions. Ask her these questions. Ask your mom these questions. Because sometimes you guys are angry at your dad and you should be turning your head and looking right at your mom.
One, since your mommy has been telling you all your life that, boy, life was so hard for everybody and, there's so much suffering. I know she couldn't feed the 15 hour. Ask your mother this question. Why did you continue to have more children after you saw how much the first couple were suffering? After she had the first 1 and 2 and she realized she could barely feed them, she then proceeded to have 9, 10, 12 more. Ask her why. Hey, I'm not saying disrespect your mother. Just have the conversation. Why can't you have that conversation? It's a fair question, right? This is not a case of a rape a bowl and put 15 bit in her. Why? She realized what poverty was after the first one, the first 2. How so much more want to come? Ask her these questions, or ask her that question. Number 2.
That's a valid question. And that goes back to the video I did with the woman that had 7 kids with 6 baby daddies. And, I actually have a follow-up on that one that you guys are going to see. But if you knew you were struggling with 1, and then you knew you were struggling with 2, how do we get to 6, 7, 8, 9? How? But if the child is intelligent enough to ask that question, hopefully they will be intelligent enough to be able to answer that question themselves and then not replicate the behavior that they've seen. Hopefully.
See, we keep hearing that, well, some of these single mothers, they can't afford to send you to school, and they can't afford this and they can't afford that. Ask your mother this. How did you afford the latest hairstyle, clothes, parties, etc., but couldn't afford to feed/school me better? See, the school will cost 15,000 a year, but she said she can't find the money to go. I say you have to stay home, or you have to go a stoplight, go wipe your glass, because she can't find 15,000 for go to school. She find 40,000 for do her ear. She find 30,000 for your outfit. These are fair questions. You are entitled to asking these questions. How does that make sense? Simple mathematics. You can't afford 15, but you can afford 40, 50, 60. How, mama? Number 3.
And there's nothing that grinds my gears more than when I see a woman walking down the street with her child and she have a fresh hairdo and her child's hair look picky. It wasn't brushed up. It wasn't combed out. It don't look moisturized. It look like it's breaking off. And, she got her hair done, nails done, lashes done, walking with her child. Most of the time when you see a dad that's with his son, he got a haircut, so does his son.
Were you in a committed relationship with my father? Come on, have the conversation. Because, your mother tell us so your father just left you at that. Mommy, where's daddy? He just left way. I'm sorry to break the news to you, but a lot of you, when your mother tell you that, she and the man never in a nothing serious. Them never in a nothing serious. they were not in a committed relationship. As I said, in Jamaica, reproduction is like a game. It's like a game of Ludi. Matter of fact, a lot of women get pregnant for men who are not even for them man. Hey, I did warn you that some carnal crush. Right? I'm not trying to offend anybody, but it is what it is. Enough women get pregnant for man who are not for them man. Matter of fact, enough women get pregnant for man thinking that the man are going to left him wife or left him man and come be with them man. And then they say, I'm pregnant, and the man says, so? What you tell me that for? Then they then say, oh, when they want to tell the story, them say, well, me and your father were together, and as soon as I get pregnant, him say, he never want you. They forget to mention, say, the man did actually married and have a family. Now, of course, in that situation, I'm not exonerating the man. He still needs to make sure that the pitney look after. However, to pretend like, say, you want the man in something serious and you were going to build something, no, tell the full story. You were not in a committed relationship with the father. A matter of fact, let me give you a story closer to home. I have a relative. I'm going to show you Jamaican culture right now. I have a relative, close relative. She have two pitney with a man. And she's constantly arguing over the arrangement for all the man to the pitney whatsoever. So I said to her, listen, why the two of now these two pitney, why don't they just move in together? You know what she said to me? She not ready for that because she already know him like that.
Wow.
Let me say that again. She not ready for that and she not really know him like that. She has two children with the man. In Jamaica, people will tell you say them cannot move in a home with somebody and live under the same roof and raise children under the same roof with somebody because they don't know the person like that and they need more time, but they can have two children. That show you how Jamaicans view reproduction. That show you that breeding, that show you that having a child is less of a thought, right? Requires less thinking and deep processing than moving in and having some kind of stability. That right there is culture and mindset. Come on, hit this like button. I'm working here. Fourth question.
Were you in a committed relationship with my father? He's talking about some women who are, in a relationship with a man who already has an entire family and then they get pregnant for him. Or they didn't really know him like that. They were just cool. They were just kicking it, hanging out. Maybe it was a oops situation, a one night situation, a one-off situation. But what about the people who were actually in relationships and he said he didn't want no children? And you told him you was on the pill because you were lying. And you thought this was going to secure it even more. And then you want to turn around and say, oh, he left us. Not saying you bamboozled him, not saying you lied to him.
You should probably ask your mother. Did you and my father discuss wanting a child, or was I a buck up? That one right there, so, oh boy. Matter of fact, you might not want to ask that question because the answer probably going to be, if your mother is honest, probably going to hurt your feelings. Mm-hmm. I'd go as far as saying most Jamaican children are unplanned and unwanted. Most. I would go that far. I'm only using anecdotal evidence, right, from what I've seen. So obviously we can't talk for the whole Jamaica. But unwanted, listen, by definition, if you didn't plan for something, you didn't want it. By definition. If you go to the supermarket to pick up 3 pumpkin and 1 yam, and when you come out of the supermarket, you see some tomato in the bag. And you say, well, them done in the bag already, so I could just keep them. I'm sorry, those tomatoes are unwanted, even though you kept them. Come on, hit the dislike button. That's how children are made in Jamaica. Like people go in our store, right, and then come back with something they never really want, but they say, oh, well, it's in their bag anyway, so I could just keep it. That's how children are treated in Jamaica. Listen, I'm not here to make friends. I don't know how many times I have to repeat it. Right? Ask your mother that. Because here what? You see, no real discussion never go on and the man never really want the pitney. Hey, that's one of the reasons why enough man bail out. I'm not exonerating them, I'm just telling you what it is. Right? Because, check this. In our Uncle Sam place, now the biggest debate them always have is over whether a woman should have the right to can get rid of pitney. Right? You know what I mean by get rid of pitney, right? The big A. Right? When that debate comes up, people say, well, guess what? A woman should not be forced to have a pitney where she don't want. Even though she lie down and have it, you can't tell her she must be a parent when she don't want to be a parent. It's for her life, it's for her body, she don't want it, so she can get rid of she want. Guess what? A man does not get that same privilege. A man, if a man says, you know what, it's my life, I don't want that picnic, I don't want nothing to do with it. That man is a deadbeat. Let me say that again. If the woman says, it's my life, I don't want a picnic, so I get rid of it, that's called choice. That's called freedom. A man says, yo, even though me lie down and make the picnic, yes, but it's my life, I never really feed, I don't want it, so I don't want to do with it. That's called a deadbeat. Just think about that one when you're at work today.
If a woman says, I don't want this child, it was a mistake or whatever, I'm going down to the clinic. Everybody's like, okay, cool. Yeah, she's responsible. If a man says, you know what, I don't want this child. I don't want nothing to do with it. You want to have that baby, that's up to you. You deal with that. What a deadbeat. He's disgusting. What a worthless man.
The next question. What do you know? Number 5. When did you realize my father was such a bad person? And if so, why did you have more kids with him? See, enough woman tell us that them baby father is the worst man alive, but they have 5 picnic with the man. He's the worst man on planet Earth, the worst man ever make. Them have 5 picnic with him. What happened? When did you realize this? When did you realize this? Oh, your father do all him wanna walk and breathe down the whole place. You didn't see that before? You didn't do any research, never asked a question. The man has 15 baby mothers. The man have 15 baby mothers before you, and all of them are complaining say they can barely see man get on from him. But because you thought what you have between your legs is so special, he was suddenly going to change just for you. And when he didn't change for you, now you are going and tell people say all men are terrible and Jamaican man are this and black men ain't shit and all these things. You made bad decisions. You made bad choices. When did you realize the man was a dog? When did you realize the man was a user? All his other baby mothers told you that he was a user. Or you didn't do your research? Still your fault. Right?
I want to say something on this part. So it says, when did you realize my father was such a bad person? And if so, why did you have more kids with him? But you know why a lot of women can't answer that question? Because he only became a bad person maybe when he didn't want to be in the relationship anymore. Maybe when he didn't want to deal with the disrespect anymore. Maybe when he didn't want to tolerate her mouth anymore. Maybe when he realized that he deserved better. That's when he became a bad person. So that's why she can't give you a full out answer. Because she wasn't so disgusted by him when she was having more kids with him. But when she realized that having those kids didn't deem control over him, that's when he became a bad person.
You still have to take some of the blame. As me say, we are giving you everything when they say about man, we are giving you. But you're gonna have to take some of the blame. Which question we reach now? Right? Number 6. Why did you get pregnant for a man who could barely feed himself? Come on, hit the dislike button. This is the question a lot of Jamaican women need to be asked. A lot of mothers and man tell them
black women.
But oh, the man walk this and him can't even get this. Why did you get pregnant for a man who could barely feed himself? Jamaican woman breed for man because them like him bandy legs, bow legs. Jamaican woman breed for man because them like him quote unquote pretty ear. The man has no means of him them meet them.
And this is how I know that it has nothing to do with location. This is a culture issue, black people. Because we hear that over here in the US. Oh, because he got light eyes. Oh, me and him will make a pretty baby. Oh, he got good hair. Oh, he got nice skin. Oh, yeah, he's Puerto Rican. Oh, yeah, my baby will be mixed. Nothing based off of personality, if he's going to be a good father, if he's structured, nothing that. All superficial. All superficial. And then after, I want to talk about he ain't good for nothing. It's like, but girl, you picked him. You saying he's not good for nothing, but he doing the same things he was doing when he met you. How are you going to be mad at him that he's not changing and becoming something different when you were okay with it before?
A close friend, day one. Everybody, the man, listen, you meet a man and him free 9 o'clock in the morning and free 9 o'clock in the night. Any hours of the day you're calling him free. That's a red flag. Our man takes so much free time for the man. A man supposed to be busy at least a part of the day.
Sometimes.
So you meet a man, the man now have nothing. But because you have unicorns in your belly, not even butterflies, but unicorns in your belly, right? You run go breed, and then when a time for the baby born, you say, alright, we're gonna need 15 feeding, and the man say, me can't afford it. Now you walk and tell people say the man broke and the man workless and the man not use and the man a dirty dog and the man a waste man. But I don't understand. Darling, he was always broke. He was ask your mother, right? Because she tell us your father broke and a waste man and your father not a real man. Ask her, why did you get pregnant for a man who could barely feed himself? The man was in his late 30s, and if his mother not cook, he can't eat, and that's who you got pregnant for. I did warn you about this video. Number 7. Did you use the law to prevent my father from seeing me in any way, shape, or form? Enough women use the court system and the law to beat man over the head and prevent the man from seeing the pitney, and then tell the pitney that the father don't want to see them. Come on.
They don't even have to use the court system to do that. They don't have to use the law to do that. Their phone have a block button. They could tell that man, don't come to my house, leave my kids alone. They could say, I don't want you at my house. And guess what? They turn around, and if the father was saying, well, I was, you told me not to come around. Well, if you really wanted to, you would have found a way. Cut the games. Cut the games and tell the kids the truth. A lot of women out here just walk around lying to everybody and the kids. Just for the mere fact of getting in the way between the children and the father and that relationship. If we're being honest. If we're being honest.
I'm not here to make friends. I've seen this with my own 2 eyes. True story. You know a virgin. For years he hate him father. Let me tell you, say, he despise him father. And one day, Miss always tell him, so listen, brother, the story you tell me, where your mother tell you, it just sound too unbelievable. Try and reach out and find your father and hear what he must say. Guess what? He did manage to reach out and find his father. Hear the story now, people. His father used to go to England back in the day. You know, back in the day when anybody need a visa to go to England, he just take a plane and go there and ask some questions there you go through. Anyway, his father go there and his father wasn't straight, paperwork wise. So the father do some little, under what them call it, under the table, cash in hand work. The mother, she had fair papers and everything, right? And they may not get together with the man, have a baby, right? Now, she and the man fall out. She and the virgin father fall out. You know what she did? She called immigration and tell immigration not only which part the man are working, right? But tell them to the man not straight. Immigration go there for the man, send the man straight back to Jamaica. Send the man straight back to Jamaica. By this point, the youth was a baby. You know what she told the boy, my virgin? Say, your father say no want nothing to do with you and go back to Jamaica and live with him woman. Mm-hmm. That is what she told the youth for years. He grew up hating his father. Them time there, the man died Jamaica the whole time. The man a call over there. Let me talk to my son, she don't want to, because the boy don't know same father even exists. So the boy can't deal with people. For years, the youth resent him father. Only for find out say, I'm mother, because the mother and the father have issues. And she got so bitter, she make immigration deport the youth and then tell the youth say, the father never want him, the father don't want nothing to do with him. So that question right there, enough woman, tell them pitney story to make them hate the father and not tell the full story. When them use the law or the court system, right, to help prevent the man from see the pitney. File a restraining order and tell the judge so, she feel threatened and him say, I'm going to do this to her, and the judge say, listen, you can't come nowhere near the house. It happens. You need to ask that question. Number 8.
So many children, so many grown people are walking around thinking of their father, not spending no Father's Day with their father, not giving no father no birthday gift, not having any memories built with their father for a long time, for the mere sake of their mother's word for it. And I tell you this, a lot of people end up hurt. A lot of mothers end up tarnishing the relationship with their children when their children get older, when their children just find out the real truth. Because when those kids, like I said, sometimes grown up, when they actually look back and they see all the time that they did not spend with that person off of over nothing, it takes a lot for them to get over it.
Why is every good thing I achieve because of you, but every bad thing is my absent father's fault? That right there is something that single mothers are known for. If the child grows up to become LeBron James, it's because of her. She raised him to be LeBron James. But if he grows up to become JJ Nakis, it's because I'm father. Which is funny because you never really hear a youth say him go thief or rob nobody to help feed him father. He normally does it to go help his mother. Let me say that again. You never really hear a youth say, no, say, me do this. Say, me go thief because I want to feed daddy. Nope. But even if the mother is the one who motivates and encourages the youth to get involved in a crime so she can live a good lifestyle, if police catch him and wet him up, guess what? It's all the father's fault. It's all the father's fault. Nothing to do with me. I did an amazing job and I did the best I could. Number 9.
Can we just use Power for an example? I know you guys must watch Power, right? When Tasha was telling Tariq to go out in the streets and do this, Ghost was telling him, go to school, get an education, stay out the streets. It's not for you. Tasha needed a sidekick. Undermined the father because of her tarnished relationship with him, just so that she can have more funds coming into her home for her help. A lot of bad man, a lot of gangsters, a lot of street guys out there, they have the back of tip from their mom. Oh, I can't. I would hope that you'll be able to help me pay bills, or I would hope that you'll be able to help me do this, and I would hope, and it gives him that fuel to say, yeah, I need to go get some money. I'm going to buy my mama a house. I'm going to buy my mama a car. I'm going to buy my mama this. At the sake of their lives, their freedom, whatever.
This one right here, so now I will touch some con. Do you realize, because this is the son them now I ask the mother this. Do you realize I am your son and not your husband? Oh boy. Oh boy. Let me ask that one again, number 9. Do you realize I am your son and not your husband? Stop sabotaging my relationships because you want me around you forever. Enough woman treat them son like say are them man. And if them man, which really is them son, go on like him love another woman and threaten for them little thing, then the mother will sabotage it and make sure say it can't go away. Happens every day. Refuse to let the boy go. Let that boy go. Let him go. Find a man of your own. He's not your husband.
But a lot of women, if they're honest, they do that because they mess up their chances over and over again. And then their only hope for support or assistance is going to be that son. So they turn him into to that person that they can rely on ultimately. So if there's any chance of you having your own life or your own family, this is going to be a problem now. Because who's going to help me? What about me? It all revolves around the mom.
Sorry, mama, he's not your husband. Right? Number 10. This is for the woman name now. The girls. Ask your single mother this. Why did you continue to bring waste man after waste man around, knowing I am now at an age where my body is changing and molesting is a serious issue in our nation?
Guys, you know what I'm going to do? I want to do a rundown of how mothers, single mothers, because you have a lot of different singles mothers. You have single mothers that are single from divorce. You have single mothers that are single by, happenstance, choices. Sometimes it just does not work out. Maybe the guy just really walk away, could not get along, toxic relationship, could have been harm, fighting, or whatever. There's different types. But let me tell you something. We're going to start from the top. Accountability. You see, women who are grown enough, mature, not in age, in maturity, they're willing to see what faults they made, what trials they made, whatever, but they're also willing to realize that at the end of the day, this is another half of you, and I am going to fully enforce and support that you have a relationship with this person. And when you're grown, you choose what you want to do. But you see, since you're not grown, you're going to do what I'm telling you to do. And what you're going to do is you're going to have this relationship. You're going to go over there. You're going to spend time. You're going to meet up with, talk on the phone to. This is what you're going to do. Because a person who is mature realizes how important it is for that man to be impactful in that child's life. But you know what they're not going to do? They're not going to send the child over there, tell them what they need to do, tell them that they need to have that relationship, but at the same time badmouth him to that child. Because that means that you're only fronting. You're pretending like you're sending them over there, and you're pretending like you're this peacemaker, but then you're doing damage. Over and over and over again. And the only person that is going to hurt is that child. That's the only person that's going to be harmed in the end of the situation. That child. And then the children are going to turn around, and after they figure things out, they've already resented their father their whole life, can't stand their father. They're going to create fatherless homes because they're only going off of what you say and what you've done and what you've shown them. And then when they finally get into a space and maybe, hopefully, they realize the truth, they're going to resent you. They're going to resent you. Fathers, you are so necessary. You are so essential. You are so intricate. The statistics already showed that if a man raises a child alone, it's the same as if a child is raised in a two-parent household. But if a woman is raising a child alone, it is not the same thing. And again, we know that there are different factors, okay? This is statistics based off of a group of people. But we know there's different factors. Where you're from, what type of woman this is, what type of man this is, what type of mother this is, what type of father this is. We know that there's a lot of more factors. But overall, two-parent households are necessary. And if you can't have two-parent households under the same roof, you still need to foster two-parent relationships. Effectively. Respectfully. Men deserve way more credit than what they're getting. Men deserve so much more credit. They deserve all the love on Father's Day. More than just on Father's Day, every day. They deserve to feel appreciated, respected, because, I always say women can grow up and still be children-like. They can grow up and be trying to figure things out, and then there's going to be a man somewhere, somehow, that can possibly come over and save them, where they don't have to necessarily be an adult. But you see, a man has to figure it out. There's no saving. They're going to call him dusty, this, that. You broke, you this. Society expects from you. Your household expects from you. Your family expects stuff from you. A woman can wait till she's 56 years old before she becomes mature. Especially if she's under the roof of a man. Fathers, you hold the key to what your children become. And I know you amazing fathers out there that are dealing with the drama, undeserved, because of bitterness, because of jealousy, because of hurt feelings. You don't deserve that. You deserve respect. You deserve honor. And again, having these conversations over and over, it's my hope that people will be effective and change the narrative. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. I genuinely want to thank you guys for your time. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this breakdown. And I hope that those who had eyes to see and ears to hear, that they saw and heard something that will trigger something in them to look at things through a different perspective. Thank you guys so much for watching. And I love you guys from the bottom of my heart. Happy Father's Day should be the whole month. Okay? Happy Father's Day to you guys. Love you.